Everybody wants to be in the top 1%, and almost everyone thinks the same thing about it, that it comes down to money. And I get it. We live in a world where people tie success to money. You could be a genuinely great person doing work you love, but if the income isn't there, a lot of people still won't see you as successful. But here's what most people miss. The money was never really the point. Making money doesn't make you a better person, because there are plenty of people with money who are completely empty. What it actually does is prove something. It proves that you were able to do what most people can't. Look, I'm not going to give you another get rich video. I'm going to show you what becoming the top 1% actually means and where money really fits into it. When people hear top 1%, they picture a guy who makes a lot of money. But the reality is that is not what a top 1% person looks like. The top 1% guy is working on actually improving every aspect of their life, whether they have high standards and they're training consistently, they're building real skills, they're building an income online. Imagine I showed you a guy who is 20 years old in great shape. He's making a lot of money online, he enjoys what he does, he has a healthy, happy family, and a girl he loves. That is what the top 1% looks like. The top 1% does not look like the guy who is a multi-millionaire who has no girl, no standards, no business, no health, no anything. What a lot of people don't realize is that guy is still not where he wants to be. He is becoming the version of the person he wants to be. And more importantly, he is someone who is mastering every aspect of life, not just money, not just business, not just health or fitness like some people tend to do, but he is working on everything at the same time. I want you to recognize that at the end of the day, there are three very important things that matter to you and me. It is health, it is wealth, and it is relationships. And if you only choose to pick one, and that is where you put all of your focus, other aspects of your life will suffer significantly. And that is not good for you. Now you're probably wondering, well, where does money even fit into this? Why does it actually matter? And the reason it matters is not because of what you can do with it. It matters because of what it proves. It showcases to the world that you are willing to build difficult things. You are willing to deal with stress, and you are willing to not quit, even if things get hard. And that is the point. It proves and it shows that you are valuable to society. What you come to realize when you spend a lot of time around successful people who are worth a lot of money is they have a lot of opportunities because people trust them, because people see what they're doing and people believe in them. And that is the thing. Money gives you opportunities. It gives you the opportunity to never have to work again, or choose what you do, where you do it, when you do it, and even why you actually do it. To give you an example, for me, one of those opportunities was being able to take care of my parents, taking them on a holiday and paying for the trip without them having to worry about the money. And that is an opportunity that I got because of money. And the thing is, it changes how people treat you because they see that you've been willing to commit and stick to something long enough, so they trust you more because you have proof of concept, and they want to give you more time, more effort, more energy. What I want you to keep in mind is that money should never really be the whole point. You can be very wealthy and you can still be completely empty, because in the grand scheme of things, it is just a tool. What it actually does do is it buys you freedom. It gives you opportunities to make decisions not controlled by a number in your bank account. Now, I didn't always see it like this, because for a while, I was the one getting pulled away from all of it. The biggest thing that almost stopped me for a very long time was my environment. Everyone around me was so used to drinking on the weekends, or taking drugs, or vaping, or even sometimes drinking on the weekdays. That's how bad it got. You see, the thing is, when you're young, you can look at it and just call it a phase, and you can justify it, but that is the trap, because what you do every day quietly becomes a habit before you even notice. But for me, it's not that I was indulging. It wasn't like developing habits. It was the fact that my belief system was getting cooked by being around that environment for such a long period of time. I started making money online when I was 14, which is a very uncommon age to do it. And because of that, I obviously believed that I could make money online, even if nobody else did. It didn't matter to me. But because of the negative environment and exposure I had, I started to believe people that told me, oh, it's not for me. I started to believe their excuses. And that's the thing, because I've never had a drug issue. I've never had a smoking issue or a drinking issue. Like, the real battle for me was internal. I knew that I didn't want to live a subpar life in a small hometown because it just wasn't my thing. The crazy thing I never mentioned is that I had a lot of stressful nights when I was really young, questioning why I couldn't be normal, why I couldn't be happy with a 9-to-5 job and just be happy being average. Because I was so deluded by my environment, thinking it was a bad thing. But at the same time, I didn't want to be the guy who never tried anything and said, I could have been something, or what if I did work? What if I did try? The worst part of it all is that I was genuinely in a better position a few years before that than I was working at that fun fair. But the problem is, the more exposure I had to my hometown environment, whether it was at the gym, whether it was hometown friends, whether it was like colleagues, whatever it was, the worse I got, the more limiting beliefs I got, and the more it held me back. There was a point where I was working at a fun fair, and I was a few months in, and I got really pissed off at myself. I was making like €10 per hour, and I was like, how have I gotten to this point in my life? A few years ago, I was making thousands of dollars per month online, and now I have to work this job in a terrible environment I don't want to work. And the thing is, I've always had an ego, so it made this even harder to do. But I messaged everybody I knew who used to make money online, and I asked them, like, what are you still doing? Like, are you still making money online? Are you working a job? I was like desperate to find something. And what I found crazy is like pretty much all of them quit. Like none of them stayed consistent. I mean, I didn't either, so I wasn't hating, but I found it crazy because there was one guy left that was still doing it. And it kind of made me realize that so many people quit, but the ones who were still doing well, the ones who were performing, the ones who were making a lot of money were the ones who did not quit. And if I didn't quit, maybe I could have done better. And that is why I care so much about talking to young guys like you. When I was 14 or 15, making a few $1,000s per month online, I genuinely thought I was special, like I'd cracked the code of the universe and that I was the absolute GOAT. And that was a common thing until my income dropped to zero and I realized that I wasn't really that special. I just kind of came early. Like I arrived to the online money space before majority of people. Something I don't really like saying online is that I grew up around a lot of bad beliefs about money. My family is from Moldova, my blood is Moldovan, and it is the poorest country in all of Europe. And for a long period of my life, we were told that it's not for us or we'll always be in this position or rich people just got lucky. Nobody around me really took responsibility for where they were. And the only reason I did well was because I genuinely believed I deserved it. And that was enough for me. It was enough to work hard every day, and it was enough to believe that it was possible. To be honest with you, my ego was my biggest enemy for a long period of my life, and I had to drop it before anything worked. Something I want you to keep in mind is that making money online is just like going to the gym. It's scary, it's difficult, and then you do it and you're like, it's not that bad. If there's one thing you can take away from this video, it is that nobody living your dream life deserves it more than you. So I want you to go and take it. So if you're thinking, okay, I believe you, but where do I actually start? Let me show you the cleanest first move I have found. At this point in my life, I've tried over like 10 different business models, and the one that actually worked as a pretty good starting point for me was appointment setting, which in simple terms is pretty much just working with an online creator who has something to sell. You respond to all of the people in the DMs, and then you just get them to book in to a sales call. You're pretty much just texting on your phone the entire point. Obviously, there is more skill to that, but it took me from a fun fair job to around $6,000 per month in less than 3 months. I'm not gonna sit here and blatantly lie to you and tell you that it's gonna get you rich. I promise you it won't. But it is the lowest barrier thing to get into. It's almost zero risk because you're not spending any money, and pretty much anyone can learn it. If you're either at a point where you're just starting out your journey and you have no experience, or you've done stuff and you failed, then I promise you appointment setting is probably the best entry-level thing out there for you right now. And when I say entry point, I do not mean that it is the final point, because it opens up a lot of doors to different opportunities. A lot of setters go into closing or management or growth operations because it is the first step. It is not the final step. You don't really have to figure it out on your own either. One thing I don't really mention a lot, but a cool thing about setting as well, is you are pretty much learning from big proven teams. If you're working with a team doing $250K per month, not you, but the team, you will learn the fundamentals of running a business, but you'll also learn how this team is doing $250K a month, which is like pretty valuable. You know, you can't do that on your own. The online coaching space is worth around $4.5 billion right now, and it is heading up to $12 billion in the next 5 years. The point is, there are more online coaches than ever, and they all kind of have the same problem. They make pretty good money, but they do not have enough time to reply to everyone messaging them because they get way too many messages. So they hire an appointment setter to manage the DMs or the inbox and book in sales calls for them. You usually get a commission of like 5% plus a base pay or a bonus. So if you sell a $5,000 program, you make $250, and you can imagine that stacks up pretty quickly if you're good at what you do. And that is pretty much the fundamentals of appointment setting. You reply to the messages from a creator's account and book them in for a sales call. And then the closer will take the sales call and pretty much close the deal. And that is like more advanced, so you don't have to worry about that just yet. But a setter just books the call. That is all you do. It's pretty entry level, anyone can pretty much do it. Probably my 13-year-old brother could do it as well, so I don't want to hear any excuses. Look, becoming the top 1% was never really about the money. It is about becoming someone who is genuinely valuable in every aspect of your life. You want to be an amazing dad, probably, or an amazing partner, or an amazing friend, and you can't do that if you hyperfixate on one thing. That's not going to make you a top 1%er. Let me repeat, it is about genuinely becoming valuable in every aspect of your life, and the money just follows that. The choice is more simple than most people make it out to be. You can do the slightly annoying thing now that isn't even that hard, or you can do the difficult thing later and live with the regret. If you actually want to learn how appointment setting works from the ground up, I put together a full free training that covers all of the basics from landing your first role all the way to scaling up, and it is the second link in the description.